Yeah, this is Paul. Yeah. I got to thinking about these sealed declarations that people make when they file protection orders. Yes. And supposedly, what happens is they write out some sort of statement that the person's an abuser, a smoker, a drinker, a drug user, and is verbally abusive, mentally abusive, physically abusive. Yeah. Now, I would think since they're sealed and only the commissioner or the judge could read them, that would be considered an affidavit. Yes. Perjury because of untruths contained in an affidavit authorized by law. Now, I don't know exactly what they call this in the legal profession. Yes. But let's say Heidi Lee Budnick wrote out some sort of declaration because I looked online and they hadn't removed the protection order that violates my rights and the rights of my sons. Yes. And I mentioned those amendments in the Bill of Rights. Yes. And I had mentioned that if there's anything not true in one of those, that would be a false affidavit. Now, when you think about false arrest, the unlawful restraint or imprisonment of somebody by an officer of the law, illegal arrest, false arrest to serve as a basis for a suit by the one so arrested. I was arrested in January 4th of 2016. Yes. Then I was arrested again, which was really a false arrest because when you issued a bench warrant for my arrest for a failure to appear, I had said that I didn't have any problem going to court. I just wanted the court order. I notified law enforcement of that, the sheriff's department. I emailed the FBI. Now, a false arrest is a color of law violation, and those are felonies! Now, it could be that there is some problem with the forgeries of the county clerk and quite possibly Brent Baston and a lot of other forgeries that I've seen on documents. Heidi's handwriting slants one direction. Yes. And I know Jessica is blind. She's been blind since she was born. I was her stepfather. But I wanted to know every person that had written any sort of eyewitness account because I had gotten some sort of statement that Jessica's sworn testimony was included. And as soon as I had read, well, this is my eyewitness account of what happened, I thought, you're blind! There's no possible way a blind person could have an eyewitness account. Usually a blind person would say, well, this is what I heard. Now, when you're blind, what you hear could be misinterpreted. I know that the court considered that Jessica was a blind teenager at the time of all the drama of all the So Sorry shows. And she didn't have any of her friends helping her write any sworn, sealed affidavits about how bad a father I was. Now, let's say there's a false impersonation, the act of assuming another's identity, such as a person who poses as an officer of the law when he is not such an officer. Now, if I found out that you had cloned any officers, any sheriffs, any judges, any commissioners, and they were all impersonating sworn oaths of office, it would make the damages go from millions to billions to tens of billions of dollars. Now, we can't have false impersonators, we can't have false arrests or false imprisonments because of not enforcing the law. And if you trusted the false affidavit of the sworn testimony of a blind teenager as the basis for issuing or renewing the protection order, because I noticed that Jessica Lee Hodges had quite a few sworn statements over the last 6 years, that as an American citizen, I'm sure you can appreciate how I, as a father, the biological father of 5 sons, have no problem imprisoning every oath of office of the United States